Good morning to all. It is a very pleasant feeling to have you all on board the ship hosting the webinar Build Your Own Website Using Google Sites. We at the Goa College of Engineering IT department under ITCEP conduct several sessions, and one such you all are witnessing today. I, Megha Nayak, faculty at IT department, will be your guide for today and will sail you through this. The outline I have chalked out is as such. We would be learning how to do a website, how to host it, understand the difference between static versus dynamic, learn how to insert header, footer, navigation panes, the various themes, layouts, fonts, have a fair idea on divider, image carousel, map, text box, images, YouTube, videos, collapsible buttons, how to insert a logo, a fav icon, navigation pane, announcement banner, and how to host and publish the site. The next thing we would be trying to throw some more light on is the Google Analytics. So let's get sailing. Let's try and understand first what is that we are trying to build. This is something that we are trying to build. This is a fair idea of what we would be building. At the end of today's webinar, this is the objectives I am trying to achieve. And for students, there is a task. So I believe we can start sailing. So for students, there is a task which they can do by seeing this, and then they can build their website based on this. So let us throw some light on what I mean by static versus dynamic website. So static website you can consider as an analogy to a notice board that you are just looking in your classroom or maybe in your podium somewhere outside. But this notice board which you are looking can be accessed from anywhere around the world provided you have internet connection. So the point is that in a static website you can't do much. You just refer to the information that is put up on the website and that's it. But we have a dynamic website wherein the user who's building a dynamic website gives it a dynamic touch, wherein anyone who is accessing your website will post a query and the website will give a response. But today, majority portion of the website that we will be building will be a static component, but I will just tell you how to put a form option to it using 123 form builder and give it a slight dynamic touch. Is that okay with everyone? Okay. So now going ahead, first we will see how to launch a Google site. Alright. To launch a Google site, I have to click on these dots that you see over here and hit on drive. The moment I hit on drive, I see this new plus new option. You please click on that plus option and hit on more. The moment you hit on more, you can select on Google Sites. Are you all with me till here? Can you all see the screen? Are you all with me till here? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay. So every time you launch a Google site, this is how it's going to look, no matter what. All right. And now this site is not yet published. You're still into process of building it. So let's start with giving this site a name. All right. So I will say just for now webinar. The moment you punch in anything over here, it gets reflected over here. Is that clear? And this is going to be your page title, like for example, home, course syllabus, achievements, contact us, something like that. So I'm going to put over here home. But do you like the look of it? I really do not like the look of it. So this is the header and I am going to change this header. So at the side over here, this is a delete option. If you click on this, the header goes. Alright. If you want it back, you punch in over here. Now you can change this image. I had shared with you some images already. Now there are two options. One is upload and one is select. Now upload is if the images are already there on your desktop, and select is if it's there on your Google Drive. Also select, you can select an image which Google has already given to you as an inbuilt option. However, I will choose upload. The moment I choose upload, now these are the various headers. I'll select one header over here and I'll say open. Now every time you adjust a header, it says adjusting for readability because this is at the moment white. So Google will understand itself and adjust it for readability for you, and you see it's turned it black. So you click over here if you want to change the alignment or change the positioning of the text, and this is how the header looks. Can you all see the header? If you all are okay with this header, we can go ahead. If you all are not okay, maybe we can change it if time permits later. So this is our home page that we see over here. Again, if you want to change the type of the header, this is the header picture, but if you want to change the type, I click on this header type. There are different options here. If I click on cover, this is how it will look, big. If I click on large banner, this is how it's going to look. If you click on just banner, this is how it's going to look. If you want just title, neat, plain, nothing, just keep it this way. Probably at a later point of time you want the header, probably you can just click on banner. So this is how my header looks at the moment. Now let's go a step ahead and place a footer. Alright, now footer is a place where usually you put in all the information like contact or like developed by or published by, like who has done the website for you. So I will go ahead and put a footer over here, and before I type in anything, now you see these options here. Now this is a palette where you can give a color or wherein you can give an image. This is to duplicate the section. So if you want two footers and you clicked on this, it would have got duplicated again over here, but I'll delete it for now. So I will give it a color, and then after that I will give it an image and say upload. So I already have selected few images and kept. I select this footer image and I say open. Do you see how the footer is come? Can it be seen? Okay, yes, so
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, someone, one person can please coordinate and tell me, because you know, then that way it will be better. So I've already selected this, which I'm going to put in the footer, and I paste it here. Can you read this? I think it's not that visible. So I will select it, and there are options again Google gives. So you can select it as style. It's too big, I don't want it this way. I choose heading. It's still bigger. Probably I'll give it subheading. Fair enough. Right now you can change the look and feel of it however you want, whenever you want.
Bigger, 1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah, just tell me how you did the footer, because I just missed it.
Okay, so I'll just delete this footer now. Yeah. Okay, I deleted the footer. Can you see anything now?
Yeah.
Just the header is there. Yeah. So I deleted the footer. I come to the bottom of the page and I see this add footer option. All right. And I select on that add footer, and I come here. It gives me options to duplicate a particular portion. Now I'm working on the footer. So if I click on duplicate, the footer will get duplicated. Is that okay? Okay. So now I'm giving the footer a background. So I choose an image. Now these images are already, this is select that I typed on by mistake. I've already chosen some images that I want to put already. So I'll click on upload, and this is what I'm choosing, and I say open. So it's adjusting itself, if you see over here. Yeah. And I'm pasting this text which I've already typed and kept. Okay, so now I select this because this is not visible and it's like too small. I think this is fine. I can also make it bold. All right, and I can also center align it this way. You can play around with it however you want. All right, so this is how our footer will look at the moment. Now sometimes it may so happen that you design the footer but you still don't want it to be seen on the website. So there is an eye option here. You click on it, the footer is not going to be seen, but it is still designed by you. Am I clear? So I am back on the footer over here. All right, so this is now every time you do a change to your website and you want to see how it's going to look, just hover around over here, this small tab over here. This is an undo option, this is a redo option, this is the preview option. So I click on the preview. Now Google gives you inbuilt options to see how your website would look on a laptop or a desktop screen, on a tab. So this is how it's going to look on a tab and on a mobile. Cool. So I get out from it because I just wanted you to know how you would be viewing your website on different tabs or different devices. Okay, I'm back to the editing portion. Now once I'm done with this, I want to put a logo for my website. So I click on this option, add logo. All right, when I click on this option, add logo, I'm given this particular window. I click on this upload button over here and I have already circulated the logo. Now this is my college logo. I will open it and it gets uploaded over here. Okay, and now I put an alternate text. I say Goa Engineering College. Now this alternate text will be a text which someone could see once your website is not readable or not viewable or something like that. So you may put it or you may just avoid it. So this is what I have done for now for putting up a logo. So I will just and you see the logo shows up over here. But however, the look and feel of this background with the logo, the contrast is not good. So you may change it depending on whatever contrast you want. All right, for now this is how I have designed my home page. Now Google again, now I'm clicking here on themes. The inbuilt option Google Sites gives us few themes which we can incorporate. All right, so maybe I can choose the simple theme. Right now I'm on the simple theme. If I choose this theme, it adjusts itself accordingly. If I choose the diplomat theme, this is how it is going to look. If I choose the vision, this is how it is going to look. But when I choose the vision, this blue strip on top comes automatically because this color is chosen over here, right? But let's give it some good color matching with a footer or something like that. So I'll click on this extra thing that you see over here to choose the color and click on a very close color to orange. Do you see it getting changed? Can you all see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now we would go ahead and change the font style. You can either choose modern or you can choose classic. So like that, each of this theme which is inbuilt comes with a certain font styles. You choose bold, you choose modern, and you choose classic. So this color changes based on whatever I choose here. All right. So for now, this is okay. If you want, you can change it later. So once this is done, now I want to have my tabs over here or pages over here which I want to navigate between. So what I do is, we are done with the themes, so I come to the pages. All right, by default the home page is already there. There is an option over here to add pages, so I'll click on this. All right, so I say syllabus and I say done. Can you see syllabus has come in over here? All right, then I will say, for example, scheme of instruction. Then I will say probably course material. Now since I am an educator, I am considering to do it this particular way. But students who are there present for this webinar today, you might consider designing this website to put in your achievements, interests, hobbies. For example, if your interest is painting, you can have your home wherein you're talking about yourself. Oh, someone is saying something. Okay, So yeah, is this a problem at my end? Are you all able to hear?
There's an echo, Mega.
Okay, one
Someone has
second.
put on mic.
I think someone has put on mic. Please switch off your mics. Requesting the participants to kindly mute yourselves.
Ma'am, it's okay now.
It's fine.
Yes, yes,
Can you all see the screen? Course material.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I'll insert one last page, that is contact us. Okay, I'll insert one last page, that is contact us. So what happens is, the moment I click on home, this is what it looks like. The moment I click on syllabus, this is what it looks like. Scheme of instructions, that page is already created, and course material is created. One last one, I'll put contact us. Okay, ignore the spellings for today. Okay, so this is done. So now when you hover around this is how you're going to play around with your navigation tab. Now in a particular page, if you do not like the header, you can go ahead and change it. So I will say change image, upload, and I'll select this one. I'll say open. If in a particular page you don't want it, you can go ahead and change the header. It's totally up to you. The beautification of this is totally up to you. Which option to choose is what I am going to be highlighting today. So if I click on home, this remains still, and if I click on syllabus, this remains still. All right, so these are the different pages over here. Now it may so happen that I do not want syllabus separately as a tab over here. Instead, I want it nested under scheme of instruction. In that case, what I do is I just click on this scheme of instruction and push it towards syllabus. So do you see the nesting is taken place here? Got me? So then I just click on scheme. If I want it again as a clear cut tab, I push it. So I can arrange the ordering of my tabs this way. Suppose I want syllabus right down. So this is how I can play around with the ordering, which otherwise computer science students and coding students will realize if you have to write codes for this, it's going to be a little bit time consuming process. All right. Now this thing over here is my navigation pane. If I don't want it to be seen over here and I want it to be seen at the side, I will again click on the settings and I am on the navigation option. Now here there is a mode which says top or which says side. So if you click on side, all the navigation tabs come over here. And if you don't want it this way, you again click over here and you say top. Am I clear with that? Okay. So now I click on this color and you see transparent. You may choose it as white. So this whole thing takes on white. And if you want, you can choose it as black. The whole thing takes it as black. You may again put in your own colors and beautify it more. So I'm done with this portion right now. I'll close this and I will try to beautify my home page by putting a certain layout. So I come to insert and again sites gives me a layout wherein I can put an image, or I can put a YouTube video, or I can put a calendar, or I can put a map. All right, but it is up to you what you want to put because this is your home page. So I circulated an image folder. So since it's my home page, I will just display something about myself. So I say upload and I just click on this image that I want to put. And if you see, I will just stretch this portion how I want it. And you know the image also adjusts itself. Do you notice that? Okay. And here I will write about a little about myself, or those who are doing it for themselves can accordingly put the information. And this is too big. Do you see? I mean, it's not looking good on the front page. So I click on this and instead of title, I say subheading. So I think this is fair enough for now. If you want, you can make this little big, something like this. But again, this is white, and if you want to give it a certain emphasis or a certain background, you can choose this palette option over here, click on it and give it, you can see it's become gray. Again, an inbuilt option to make it black. So up to you to choose whatever you want. If you want to duplicate the same thing again at the bottom, you will click on this duplicate section. But why would you want it 2 times, right? So yeah, I delete it. Now, if you have another section at the bottom, I will just tell you what I'm trying to show. But if you try to have another section at the bottom, you would want to differentiate this section from this section. So what you would choose to do is click on this, and there is an option called as divider over here. Can you see how neat it looks after placing the divider? So this is just to improvise the look of your site. So once this is done, I might choose to put in another layout, and this layout allows me to put another 2 pictures or another 2 videos or something like that. You want, you can go ahead and put that. Suppose you're in academia and you're teaching one course, you're teaching a course and there are another 3 faculties together. You would want to display their pictures here and their designations and their interests over here. So at that point of time, you might consider doing that. Okay, now let's go one step ahead and put an image carousel. I believe we all visit websites wherein we see those images changing, right? So here I have an option of image carousel. I click on that. Now whenever you are putting an image carousel, please keep in mind that it needs to have at least 2 images. So I click on insert image, I click on upload, and for the carousel I have kept my images already ready. So I click on the images I want. So these are the images I want, and I say open. They get populated on its own depending on how you have chosen it. All right, and then I say insert. The moment I say insert, if depending on how you want it, you can accordingly, stretch it. I'm just showing you how to do it though. So this will be your image carousel. Let's see how it looks in the preview. So this is your phone view. Let's go to desktop view. So this is how your image carousel will look. But however, you have to click on it to change it. So what you will have to do is, if you don't want to click on it to change it, you will have to automatically make sure the transition takes place. So for that, I come out of the view. All right, I go back to my image carousel. I go to its, this is to delete it. Okay, I go back to its settings, and if you wanted this image to be first, you would shift it accordingly. Click on the settings here, and there is an auto start option. You click on that auto start option and you can give your speed, very slow, slow, medium. I'll click on medium and I'll say update. All right, then I will check the preview. When I check the preview, oops, I don't have to do that because it's automatic. It's loading. It's not happening. It should have taken place. It automatically performs a transition. We'll come back to that later, but I just showed you an option where you can change the settings of the image where the transition will happen automatically. Let's give it one last try. Yeah. So here, without me clicking, the transition is happening automatically. So that's with the image carousel. Now, if you wanted this image carousel on top and about the person at the bottom, you could just click over here and move this. Can you see the image carousel is on top now and about is come towards the bottom. All right, now how to insert images. Now this is all with my front page. I don't want to do anything more with the front page. I come to my other pages. So I click on, say, scheme of instruction. Now the educators and people in academia will be able to relate. But with this, I am trying to show how to insert pictures. So I will click on images and I will say upload. So here I have a scheme of instruction which is already taken and kept, and it comes so slow. This is just for some subject which I have taken. I will drag it the way I want and how much I want it to cover a page. Okay, and then just pull it so that it can be viewed. So this is the scheme of instruction which I had already taken an image and kept, and I populated it on this page. Similarly, I can go to syllabus. And populate another image over there. So I go to image, I say upload, and that is going to be my entire syllabus. So you stretch it. And it accordingly you can adjust it so that the whole thing is seen. So I believe you can see the changes taking place on the screen. Can someone confirm?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Mega, one question.
yes.
Yeah, we have to upload only images, or can there be text also? We can just put in?
Yes, I'm coming to insert text box. Right now I'm dealing with
Okay.
images. Then there is an option as text box also wherein you have to type. So I will come to that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now this is done with syllabus. I've showed you how to insert images. Now if you want to insert some more images, for example, upload, I will just insert 2 images here, one here, and I will insert one more. These are just some things for demo. Okay, you don't like really have to see how it's prevalent to my topic right now. So these are 2 images that I have inserted. But what if you wanted this one to come and sit here? Just take him and drag him. Now if you want to describe this image, you could have given a text for that image, or like sir just asked, now I'll show you how to insert a text box. Now this is a text box. I just clicked on this and a text box came here, and some text that you want to say, for example, subjects taught. I'll just click on it. You can type, but I don't want to waste time typing. So this is the text. So you can place text however you want. So you can format it also. You can make it a heading, or you can make it a subheading, or you can make it small, however you want it. Ganesh sir, have I answered your question? Okay, so this is going to be the text. So you can place around many text boxes like this and put data in it, or whatever you want to type. So I believe I'm done with inserting a text box, images. Now I have done with layouts. There are different formats of layouts available. You can choose whichever one. So just to give this an emphasis, I will click this. So you can differentiate your sections by giving certain emphasis. So this becomes light gray, this becomes darker, and you could have given a background also to this. So I think you may try it on your own, inserting the background. So this is done with text box, images. Now let's come to the embed option. All right, so that we will try to see in course material. All right, before I go to that embed option, I will try to tell you what I mean by collapsible text. So I click on collapsible text. You get an option to choose whether it can be a collapsible or whether not. All right, so I'll just put some text here. Subjects taught. This is my text. All right, and something under that, more details. So person who is viewing your site will only see this much. If he wants to go and see ahead, the details beneath it, grouped under it, it can be shown as a collapsible text. All right, so I believe I am clear with the collapsible part. If you want to give it a background, you can just say, so you click here and this. So next we go to table of contents. Now when you're demoing table of contents, okay, when you're demoing table of contents, I'll show it over here. When you're demoing table of contents, I'll just delete this. When you're demoing table of contents, you have to understand that whatever you are punching in has to be as a header. All right, you cannot have it in any other format, but also you have to consider that whenever you're doing this table of contents, you use it appropriately. Right now my usage won't be appropriate because I just want to show you how it looks. Okay, so or what is the usage of it? It should come here. Okay, so whatever text I type in over here, provided it is in this format, that is heading format, only then will the table of contents populate it. But right now the usage of it may not have been appropriate enough, but in the demo purpose I just wanted to throw light that there is something called as table of contents which you can make use of. And to make use of it, the word of caution is the format of all this has to be in a heading format. If it is not in a heading format, for example if it's in a subheading format or in the small format, see, this does not get populated. That's all I wanted to throw light on. So I'll delete this section since I've already thrown light on what I mean by table of contents. Now let's come and see what is a button. So I click on button and it tells me give a name to this button. So I say click here. All right, and by mistake if I spell this wrong, and I will say, but once you click that button, what has to happen, where it has to navigate, provide, you can give a link over here. You can give any other link. So I will say maybe syllabus. Okay, the link is, once I click on the button, it navigates to syllabus. So I will just say insert. Now see, the button looks like this with a spelling mistake. So you click on it and you say edit, that small pencil that you see, and you can update it. So now this is the correct way. Now there are different ways you can format this button. You can say only outline, but it's not going well with the theme. You can say just text. Again, it's not going well with the theme. So I just say filled. So this looks good. So the moment you do a preview of this and you click here, this has to go to the syllabus page, which is happening pretty fine. So I come to my home page and I just see how everything looks. It's looking good. Scheme, it's looking this way. Course material, just the button there. And syllabus, the entire syllabus shown with some images. I'll close the preview. Alright, once I close the preview, I'll go to my contact us page. I'll go to my contact us page, and in the contact us page, I will try and see how I can put a map, how I can put a calendar and the address to GEC. So over here there are different options. So I will click over here map. Once I click over here map, it tells me to enter a location. I'll say Goa Engineering College, Ponda. Alright, it chooses this and I say select. Alright, and the map is going to get populated over here. You can stretch it to make it small or big, it's totally up to you. Then to give more information, I'll insert a text box. Okay, now this text box I will give information about how to get there or how to contact us. Okay, so I'll just place this. And if you don't like the look and feel of it, you please change it to some heading or some subheading, something like that. You can make it small, and you can just drag this text box wherever you want. So there is a map here and there is the text box over here. It's totally up to you. There is a way in which you want to put calendars. You can put a calendar also. The calendar option is, now if you want to give this an emphasis, you can give it a black emphasis so it stands out. And if you want to insert a calendar, you may insert a calendar. It will show up and say insert. Now again, when you insert a calendar, you can choose it as agenda mode, you can choose it as month mode, and you can choose it as week mode. So for that, you'll have to go in settings and select the view mode. So you can select it as month mode. The moment you select it as month mode, it changes in this particular way. Alright, so this is my Contacts Us page. Now let's go one step ahead and see how to insert YouTube videos. So for that, I go to course material, and if I want to insert a YouTube video, I will have to go and click on YouTube. Here you basically will give your search path. The moment you give your search path, the video will be shown, provided it's hosted from your account. So I already have the links of the YouTube videos. I'll select one of them. I'll say Control C, and I, instead of saying that, will use an embed option and paste this. So it's searching for that video, and this is a video which was done, and it will come in over here. Now you could have also used this option if you wanted to have a text box and tell your student that refer to this for tutorial purpose. Okay, and you wanted to paste the link of that video, I'll paste it. But however, this does not come as a link. Do you see that? This does not come as a link. So you'll have to select it and give it as a link. So now it is taken as a link. So whenever the user clicks on that, it will redirect it. If you don't want it to do it this way, you directly paste the YouTube videos for the particular student. Alright, so I believe I'm done with collapsible text, table of contents, image carousel, button, divider, YouTube video calendar, and a map. So let's go back to the home page and see if there is anything more you want to put. If you want to insert any more videos, you can do that. If you want to go to the scheme, or for students developing this, if they want to make more changes, they can do that. And if you want to insert any other link other than say YouTube videos only, you can just go and say insert. Under insert, there is an embed option. So in this embed option, you can either embed a code or you can embed a URL. You can give the link to any other site, also for reference if you want. So this is how the embed option works. I hope I am clear till here. Can someone give me a confirmation?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so this is how it is going to look. Now all done with designing the website, putting buttons and giving links and all that. Now how to publish this website, or how to make it, how to host it, so that now I have designed this. You sitting over there should be able to open it on your mobile or on your laptop. How to do that? Now let's come here. Now before I do that, if I want to add any of the participant as a collaborator, like you also do some stuff to the website, and I also do some stuff to the website, and both of us together can come up with a beautiful website. So there is an option over here of adding collaborator. So I click on that and I put in that particular person over here, whoever I want to add as a collaborator, and share the website with them, make them as an editor. or if I just want them to view and see how it looks, make them as a viewer. But right now I want to publish my website. Before publishing the website, I will just drive you to the option of a favicon. What is a favicon? So I will come to this brand images and I have something called as a favicon. Now a favicon is something that identifies your site. For example, this is a favicon, this is a favicon, this is a favicon. Alright. So I'll insert one already present favicon. So I've taken this and I say upload. Takes a while. So this is my favicon. So when I publish my site online, probably when you're opening it, you should be seeing it. So this is my favicon. All right. Now before doing that, one more small portion, announcement banner. I click on this announcement banner, and this announcement banner is something that is that you can see on the top of your site. For example, I want an announcement saying COVID cases so many, or announcement that my classes are going to be starting on so and so particular date. That is my announcement. I can either give it a choice to be displayed on the home page or all the pages. Now that is what Google offers me. So I want to show the banner. I click on this banner color. I can choose either green or either blue, whichever you want, or pink. So you can choose between different banner colors. Now here goes the message. Hey, this is the banner. All right. So now this banner can be set out as a button label. I don't want to do that. You can try it out later, and you can put a link for that button label. Now you're given an option of visibility, whether you want it only on the home page or whether you want it on all pages. So right now I will show you only home page. Just click. This is not my home page, so it's not showing up here. My home page is this home. So it shows up over here. Now if I want it to be present on all pages, I click on this announcement banner and I say all pages. So now it shows up on all the pages. It's totally up to you. You want to make changes to the announcement banner, now just hover around it and click on this. You want to make changes on this. You want to make changes on this particular thing, you just hover around there and click at the particular site. So you can make changes like that, very comfortable, very flexible, but not all that flexible wherein you can get the way you want it customized for yourself. But this is good to go so far. So now once done with that, we had put a favicon which we will be able to see once we publish the site. So to do that, I will click on. Now if you see, this thing is not yet activated because my site has not yet gone live. So I'll click on publish. Now here you can give your site address. Alright. So I have purchased this domain meghanayak.edu.in for a G Suite account. Now I believe those who are working on this as a demo purpose may or may not have the G Suite account. And those who are trying to host it from gec.ac.in, wherever you see meghanayak.edu.in, you will not see this. Instead, you will see gec.ac.in for those hosting it from gec.ac.in. For the others who are hosting it from their college domain, you will see that particular domain coming in. But for those who are hosting it simple and plain from their Google account, instead of this entire thing, it will come as view. So it will be sites.google.com/view/ the name that we are going to give now. So I will just say webinar cute. Okay, so it's verified that you have that particular name, and then you can see who can view your site also, so you can manage also, and you can give everyone an option. All right, so I say publish. The moment I say publish, now my site has gone live. Now, if you cannot recollect what was the site name or the link you had given, now if you see, this particular option is highlighted, or it's activated, not highlighted, activated. So you click on that, you get your site link. Now you just click on this site link and you try to open it. Don't say syllabus, you can just type till name. You try to open it, you should see your site. So this is with creating a site and hosting it. Sometimes it becomes little one step ahead to host a site. You may have created it, but now this is giving you an option of creating the site also, and at the same time you can host it. So if you notice, the favicon has got populated over here. It's showing up over here. You design any favicon for your site and you put it up as a favicon, it will show up. Am I clear on this? Someone give me a thumbs up.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. So this
Yes.
is
So
your
how to make the favicon again?
how to make the
Mega.
favicon again. Okay, sure. So
Favicon.
I'll come yeah, I'll do that. So I'll just close this. I come back to my site and I will come here to settings and I will click on brand images. Under brand images, you have two options. One is the logo and one is the favicon. If you want to keep the favicon as same as the logo, I'll say upload and maybe I'll choose this as a favicon. Okay, now, and I will say open. Maybe it's not appropriate, but just to show how to upload a favicon, I'll do it. And it's populated here in a very small way. I'll just come out of this. And now if you try to see the website again, the favicon should get, it's still showing as this. That's because we have not published the latest changes. All right, so I will have to say publish. Every time you do a change and you're going to go live, you will have to publish the latest change. All right, so you go back here and no, it's still showing up the previous one. Maybe we can just wait and see till the end, but it should happen. Are you there with me, whoever asked the question? Are you there?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, we will try. It should get populated, and it has to get populated. It will get done. So far this is with how you're going to design the website. So you have different provisions of embedding, of trying to put. One second, please. Yes, you have different provisions of trying to put different images and stuff like that. So the next venture that we are going to take is how to insert a form to the website, how to link a form to the website or Google Docs to the website, and how to put an analytic ID for your website. All right, so that is the next step we are going to take. I think we will take a 5-minute break and resume if all are okay with it.
Yeah, I think it's fine, Megha.
Yeah.
As all of us could keep trying also whatever you have explained.
Yes.
Maybe it could give us also some time to work on it.
Yeah. So can you just please take a 5-minute break, but please resume or come back in 5 minutes. Don't leave the meeting, keep the meeting on and come back in 5 minutes, please. So I'll time myself for 5 minutes. Thank you, everyone. We resume in 5 minutes. Pins, can we resume?
Yes, Megha, I think we can start.
Yes, because we wind up, we have little time left. So I believe with the website, can you see the screen? Yes, right? Okay. I believe with the website, if anyone wants me to touch up any portion, I can do that. But I have pretty much covered much of the already inbuilt topics. But yet, I had to cover up on docs, slides, sheets, forms, and charts. So if you want to insert a Google form, for example, we as educators or into academics have so many quizzes, IT1, IT2, IT3, and we have different links for them posted on WhatsApp or by mail. So this is the best place wherein you can collaborate all your stuff and put it over here. So suppose I had one IT1 quiz, I'll put it over here. Another IT2 quiz as a form, I put it over here. Or a link to that can be given under one page. So tomorrow if you want to reiterate and check it, it's all there under one umbrella or one roof. So for now, how to insert a form, just click on this. It will give you all the forms. The recent one which I created was this event feedback, which you guys will have to fill and submit. So this is how I populate or insert a Google form on my Google site. Clear? So in the same way, you can insert docs, like if you have some study material or if you have some write-up or some editorial for students, you can get that docs inserted. Similarly, sheets, and these are charts. So if you have done some analysis and you have come up with some report and you have them as charts, like a bar chart or a pie chart or something like that, you can just display your charts over here. So that facility also is available. Now how to go? Now I have done this change. Let me publish it. Otherwise it's not going to show up if you're going to try to access it. So once I do this change, there is an option over here in settings. In this settings, it gives me something called as analytics. Now this analytics is only going to be active if you have an analytic ID. All right. So if you sign up into analytics.google.com using a Google account, all right, you can have an analytic ID for yourself, and for every website you want to monitor, you can link that website and generate an analytic ID for that particular website. So I come to this analytic over here. Now this is under my analytic.google.com. If you want to see how I have and what all does this analytic do, just tell you. Now, courtesy to the student Salil Naik, who had developed the COVID tracker, he had developed the COVID tracker. On day one, he had around 50,000 hits. He thought it was a bot trying to attack. So how did he get to know all that? He set up an analytic ID for it. So what all does it tell? The analytic ID, it gives you various information on from where all your users are, what are the top devices accessing your website. It can give you how many people are on the mobile, how many people are on desktop, how many people are on the tablet. It also gives you the time of the day people access the most. So the dark blue says around 8.5k users, the light blue says 500 users. So by setting up an analytic ID like this, you can actually get to see how many hits are there onto your system. You can also see who is accessing your website using which browser and which operating system. All that is available. And how many are the active users on your system at the moment. So all that can be viewed with the help of an analytic ID. So how to set up this Google Analytic ID? You go to this analytics.google.com and you sign up. So I give my account name and then I just say yes to everything, and I click on what I want to measure. I say I want to measure my website. I choose this option, and then I give my website name. So right now this website name will change. This was another website name which I had placed over here. So now I will have to select that website name which I have given now and put it into my analytic ID. And then once I'm done with that, I will have to give my entire website URL. That is over here, you can see. Now this was from the GEC domain, so it was separate. So I say create, and then I am good to go with my analytic. I accept all the terms and conditions, and I'm good to go with my analytics. So this is how your analytics works. But how are you going to get this analytic ID? It generates for you there itself in the Google Analytics. Now I will show you all the previous website which I had created. This was my analytic ID, user analytic, and the ID was generated. By default for you, it is going to be for your website up to 700. Every website that you try to link now, it's going to generate 1, 2, 3 like that. So if you want to like now go back and create one for this, so I will just go to this admin portion over here. My account is already created. Okay, I will just say create property. In this create property, in the analytics, it asks me I want to measure the website which I am creating at the moment. So I say continue. Now it asks you for your website name. Do you remember what's the website name? So you come here and you check your website name. Under website name, what had we given it? Anyone remembers? Webinar, yes, right? You're right. So I come back here and I give the website name. It asks me for the URL. So it has already this HTTP over here selected. So I have to go and give it the URL. So I click on this copy link and I come back here and I paste it. I don't want it till syllabus. I want it till the name of my site. It says URL is invalid because it's already picking up this. I have to remove it. Say delete. So now it's fine. You select which industry, whichever industry you are going to be hosting it on, you will have to select that. In my case, I will select jobs and education. Reporting time, you can select India over here. And then just say create. So you have an analytic ID which is going to be set up over here. Do you see this? Now this is going to be my tracking ID. I copy this. I go back to my Google site. I go to settings. I go to analytic. And now when I paste this turns on. So I've set up an analytic ID for this. So at the end of this session, when you people will be visiting my website, that is in case you all visit the website, all right, based on how many hits you guys are going to be making, it's going to be populated onto my all website data. Now right now in my all website data, there is nothing because no one has visited it yet. So you can select on this and that's how it is going to be shown. So that's how the analytic actually works. So by checking on the analytic, you will be getting a brief on how many people are actually accessing your website. Now if we had to see the previous one, all website data which I had done, let me just see over here. On that particular website, the active users are 0 because no one has been viewing that, and that was just for demo purpose. So that's how you get active users, and also you will get users by time of day, sessions by country, traffic channel, the pages, when were they retained on your website, the dates. Also you're going to see how they browse it. So every time you have an active user, all this gets populated and you can almost have an analysis of how your website is working. So with that, I believe I have touched up and given you a small sneak peek on how to create a small website, whatever, to host your hobbies, to host your interests, to host your teaching material, to put everything in a collaborative fashion under one banner. All right. There is one more small thing that you could also consider doing. This is something called as a 123 form builder. It has inbuilt forms in it. So you have to log into this and it has an inbuilt form in this. So there was one form which I had just edited. It has a template which you can go ahead and edit. So that template I edited and this was what I had got. So for that matter, you can go to that form and say, you can put that form into your site. So how you do that is you can view the form. This is how your form will look. And then if you want to edit the form, you may go one step ahead and do any changes you want to do to this form. All right, so I say try this out. All right, instead of this was not there, this logo was not there, that is what we have put using the edit option, and I say save. All right, once I do that, I will say publish. When I say publish, right, I get this code which I can copy and I go to my website and just paste it. You can create another page for that matter. And say done. And I go to this embed here and I paste this. So that form is going to get retrieved and I say whole page insert. So if you see, I have a ready-made form by 123 form builder which I have customized for my use by changing the the headers and some fields, and I have got the form populated over here. But never ask users to put in their passwords, because if they are going to put passwords, whoever is hosting this site will be able to see the password. So don't try to do that. All right, so this is something that you can use from already existing templates. So you say publish, the site can be published, and whoever visits this form or visits this site and whatever data they put in this particular site gets populated into the email account from which I am posting this Google site. So I believe with this we have finished seeing how to build a website using Google Sites. It may not be that flexible enough, but it's just okay for a start. Also, we have incorporated a slight hit of dynamic by doing that 123 form builder, but my sincere request to people is not to ask for passwords. And others who are submitting ever anything on Google Forms or Google Sites, please do not put passwords. All right, so yes, with this I come to the end of today's session, and if there are any queries, I am happy to take. You can type them on the chat. So my objectives of today's webinar are done with, and if you want to tune yourself for hosting dynamic sites using WordPress, probably we can take that as an next webinar in the next few days. Thank you all for your patient hearing and active participation. Anyone, any queries? I will be sending my recording, sending it as in I will be posting it on YouTube on my channel. You can visit my channel at YouTube Megha Nayak, and you will find this entire video session on how to create your Google site posted over there. You may visit it if you want some help in building the very small things, though it's not that flexible, but it's kind of okay. So can we get done with this? Anyone wants to say anything?
Megha, I think you were clear enough, and
Thank
the
you.
concepts were really clear. A few questions were appearing in the chat box, and I think simultaneously you have been answering them too.
Okay.
And it was very clear. So I don't expect any questions. As soon as people start with their hands-on completely, I guess that is the time they would have more questions.
All right. I leave my contact details on my WhatsApp group. So if anyone has anything you want to ask, you can always ping me or send a message, or you can always mail me. All right. So I wind up this, and I
Miss
also
Megha,
yes,
yes,
yes.
Megha, your session was really beautiful. It was very clear and informative. We can see the tremendous efforts that you have taken for this wonderful webinar. Thank you so much, and looking forward for more such webinars from you. And God bless you.
Thank you so much. You have been motivating. Before I end this session, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of all the academicians, all the students, all the faculties, all the consultants from the state of Goa and from different parts of the country. It was indeed an overwhelming response. And just to tell you, this was my first webinar. So I was very happy and glad to have you all on board. I hope you have something to take away from this, and it was a good experience having you all on board. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Megha, for the wonderful session.
Yes.
Thank you, Megha.
I'm confident that everybody must have really understood and will definitely make use of it.
Thank you, ma'am. You have always been motivating. Thank you so much.
And as told to you by Sonia, we look forward for some more webinars from you in the days to come.
Sure. Okay. So,
Thank you.
I believe we can, if anyone has anything else to say, you all can go ahead. Anyone? Okay. So, I believe we can end this session today. And yes, happy learning. I hope you all try this. It's not going to take you more than half an hour to build a website and host it. All right. So good going, and cheers to everyone. Have a happy weekend. See you soon.
Cheers and all the best for more.